This new Warlock build destroys everything. I mean, you don't even need to shoot your weapon to complete activities. Well, maybe that's a bit too extreme. But with this build, we'll be using No Time to Explain and Getaway Artist paired with a Chaos Reach, and with this build you'll pretty much have 2 automated turrets killing everything for you, infinite grenade abilities to keep your Arxel going non-stop, whilst maintaining a fairly good loadout setup for endgame content and boss DPS. But this build is insane for helping you with ad clearing, great for all types of casual activities, as well as being pretty amazing in harder difficulty activities like Legend of Master Lost Sectors and Nightfalls. Anyway, rate, comment, sub, share, and let's set this up. Now, as always with the introduction of these builds, there are a ton of other awesome builds in the playlist, which is linked below. Go check it out later if you want, but now let's start. So with this Warlock build, we will be transforming our grenade into an Arxel to help with ad clearing, and in light activities where ads aren't too difficult to defeat, you'll get your Arxel back within seconds. But if you're in harder activities, it may take a little longer. Although we will be maxing out our stats in this build to ensure we get our grenade back as fast as possible. Is it the best build in the game for the Warlock? No, but for me, it's one of the best arc builds for the Warlock. Of course, no build will be as perfect as the Thundercrash insta-boss kill builds, or the Infinite Chaos Reach build, and all those crazy things, but they're designed for boss DPS. This one is to completely own ad clearing, and to be honest, it's fun, and it's different, and it's always nice to have a little change rather than using a current mare all the time in every activity. But I'll tell you now, you can use this in endgame content, and it's definitely worth using. This build is designed in Season 14, but you can use this in any season. Just make a few adjustments to the mods that may not be available, but I think we're only using 1 or 2 seasonal mods in this one. Now, starting with the loadout, like most of my builds, you can use what you want, but if you want to make the most out of the automated arc build, then throw on a No Time to Explain, which I believe you get from the Beyond Light campaign. But this weapon will create time portals that can help you kill ads. Then for your heavy weapon, you ideally want something for boss DPS, so I'd go with a rocket launcher or a grenade launcher. This season specifically, go with a grenade launcher because we have the Breach and Clear mod for extra DPS. Moving into the subclass, we're running a middle tree arc Chaos Reach, also known as Attunement of Control. Now, you can use bottom tree if you want to give your teammates an Arxel with the Rift, but let's be greedy and go middle tree. No, but seriously, we're using the middle tree because we have Ionic Trace, where defeating an enemy has a chance to create one, and then collecting them will grant us energy to all our abilities. So this will help us get our Arxel grenade back quicker if our Arxel runs out in harder activities, as getting kills will generate us ability energy. But for the exotic, you need Getaway Artist, as the build is designed around that. If you don't have this, then you will need to go bottom tree arc and maximize your Rift's ability for the Arxel instead. But this exotic will create Arxels as we consume our grenade energy. So for the helmet mods, we're using Swift Charge to become Charge of Light on rapid No Time to Explain pulse rifle kills, with your Ammo Finder mod for your heavy weapon, mine is a grenade launcher. Then for your Gauntlets, of course, we're using a Getaway Artist, where holding down a grenade will consume it and turn it into an Arxel turret that follows you around and shoots ads. And with your mods, I've left this open so you can slot on any champion mods you need for the activity you're playing. As of Season 13, we don't have any anti-barrier pulse rifle mods, but if you're watching this in a future season and you do have that mod, use it. Now for the chest armor, we're using Taken Charge to become Charge of Light on all pickups, which will happen more than you think, as you will generate these with Masterwork weapons and from your allies if you're in a fire team. But then alongside this, we also have double ammo reserve mods for your heavy weapon. For the legs, we're using high energy fire, so we can use those Charge of Light stacks to deal more damage, or DPS, which is really what you want for harder activities, and you should almost always have that extra DPS because of all the Charge of Light mods we have equipped. Alongside this mod though, we do have our Ammo Scavenger mod. Lastly but not least, for the class, we're using Breach and Clear so we can weaken enemies with our grenade launcher. This is only available this season, so adjust it to what you have with your artifact mods for the season you're in. If you don't want to use a grenade launcher with Breach and Clear, then you can also use Surge Detonators to stun overload champions with your arc grenade, as well as Sundering Blast to damage them further. Or you could slot on some grenade ability cooldown mods. Either way, you should be generating enough ability energy from weapon kills with the subclass perk Ionic Trace to get that grenade back for your Arxel. So sacrificing one grenade for an overload shouldn't really be too much of a concern, and by the way, your Arxel lasts pretty much forever, and I mean the time it has is kinda crazy. But anyway, lastly for your stats, you want to max out Discipline to 100 as we want that grenade back as quick as possible, because without it, this build is pretty much pointless. Now guys, I've made some crazy builds over the past 4 to 5 months, but this one was a really fun build to play with and make, and it just hammers everything, especially in casual activities, and if you have modifiers with extra arc and grenade damage, then this thing may as well just play the game for you. But overall, This build is great to use in any activity regardless, whether you're playing solo or in a team, but if you're in a team you may find it annoying when your teammates steal your kill and you don't generate any Ionic Traces to get your grenade back super fast. In the end it's all down to playstyle and what build you prefer, but for me personally I would take this into a Master Nightfall and maybe even try it in a Grandmaster. It really depends what your fire team are using. But guys, that is all for this one. As always, next you should check out the playlist for more awesome fun and top builds in Destiny 2. It's linked below, go check it out. For now, give this one a try, rate, leave a comment of what you think about this build and what your favourite builds are, subscribe and share for more, and I'll see you on Thursday for the next build video.